Chicago Public School leaders released a 5-year plan. It outlines goals for having more kids attend their neighborhood schools and changes the definition of student success.
Joining us now to talk more about it is Chalkbeat reporter Rima Amin. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
One of the things that really struck me are the numbers of children, especially those in high school, not going to their neighborhood schools. Obviously, CPS wants that. I know the mayor wants that. So what about the people who are already in other schools, be they selective enrollment or some of the magnet schools? What happens to them with this plan?
So really nothing. Back in December, the Board of Education announced that it wanted to rethink school choice. That was kind of rooted in the mayor's promise to bolster neighborhood schools that had been long suffering from declining enrollment and fewer resources. And so we had all kind of expected to see potential policy changes or policy change suggestions in this strategic plan that was revealed yesterday. But we saw nothing of this sort.
Do you think that was because of pushback from aldermen and from residents who said, hey, wait a minute, these are the crown jewels of CPS?
I think that certainly could have played a role. When we asked, the board yesterday, why was this the case? Why didn't we say anything about this? And they said that, we heard from lots of people in the community who really valued their schools of choice. So selective enrollments, magnets, these schools that you choose to go to. And they said that, instead they decided that the greatest, lever of change, to use their words, for CPS was to bolster neighborhood schools and decide to send more resources that way.
So Chicago Public Schools are rated based on student performance, absenteeism, other benchmarks. How would that change and why?
So it seems as though the district, I know this, the district has said that it wants to kind of rethink what student success is. So that would still include the traditional metrics that the district looks at, which includes graduation rates, test scores, things like that. But they also want to start considering a student's experience in school. And so they want to start tracking and looking more closely at if a child has access to early college credits. They also want to be looking more closely at if a school is rated as having a supportive environment. And, there's an annual survey that goes out that measures those kinds of things. And so the district said yesterday and emphasized pretty strongly that they want to be thinking about the things that help kids socially, emotionally, on top of or in addition to those academic factors that we think about a lot.
Rima, when it comes to mental health, I mean, really, we've seen a decline in children over the years. We just did a couple of stories about people making threats to their school. Are there enough specialists and mental health educators in the schools to be able to address some of these problems?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you talk to, educators in schools, if you talk to the teachers union, and frankly, even if you talk to some district leaders, they would say the answer is no. And I think, in the strategic plan, there actually is a goal to beef up these behavioral health teams that schools are supposed to have. These teams, staff schools with mental health professionals, psychologists, counselors, so that kids have access to those resources. And so that's a goal in this plan. And, I think, the district has tried to hire more social workers for schools as part of an agreement with the teachers union from a few years ago. But again, people we hear from on the ground say that there's a long way to go.
Thank you, Rima Amin from Chalkbeat. We appreciate it. We'll share more on our website, WGNTV.com.